वा मन्यसे मृतं तथापि त्वं महाबाहो नैनं शोचितुम् अर्हसि। However, you think that the soul, however you think that the soul or the symptoms of life will always be born and die forever, you still have no reason to lament, O mighty armed Mahabaho. You still have no reason to lament. There is always a class of philosophers almost akin to the Buddhist who do not believe in the separate existence of the soul beyond the body. Some people still do not believe that soul exists. Okay. When Lord Krishna spoke the Bhagavad Gita, it appears that such philosophers existed and they were known as the Lokaitikas and Vaibhashikas. Such philosophers maintain that life symptoms take place at a certain mature condition of material combination. The modern material scientists and materialist philosophers also think similarly, that when some particular chemical reactions happens, then life takes place. According to them, the body is a combination of physical elements, and at a certain stage, the life symptoms develop by interaction of the physical and chemical elements. That's what modern scientists say. Okay, that at certain stage, life symptoms, actually body is a combination of physical elements. That's what they are saying. And at a certain time, certain stage, in certain condition, situation, the life symptoms manifest. How? By the interaction of physical and chemical elements. The science of anthropology is based on this philosophy. Currently, many pseudo-religions now becoming fashionable in America are also adhering to this philosophy, as are the nihilistic, non-devotional Buddhist sects. Okay, so these people basically do not believe on the existence of the soul. Even if Arjuna did not believe in the existence of the soul, as in the Vaibhashika philosophy, there would still have been no cause for lamentation. Even though, so first of all, we are not saying that soul does not exist, but for a moment, for the sake of conversation, if Arjuna says that okay, I don't believe on the existence of the soul does not exist, then also there would still have been no cause for lamentation. No one laments the loss of a certain bulk of chemicals and stops discharging his prescribed duty, because if just this is just a few bunch of chemicals put together, why to lament? We can get another new set of chemical. On the other hand, in modern science and scientific warfare, so many tons of chemicals are wasted for achieving victory over the enemy. According to the Vaibhashika philosophy, the so-called soul or Atma vanishes along with the deterioration of the body. So what these Vaibhashikas, as per their philosophy, when the body is finished, the soul is also finished. So in any case, whether Arjuna accepted the Vedic conclusion that there is an atomic soul, or in other case, he did not believe in the existence of the soul, he had no reason to lament. In both the cases, whether soul exists or does not exist, in both the cases, there is no reason to lament. According to this theory, since there are so many living entities generating out of matter every moment, and so many of them are being vanquished every moment, there is no need to grieve for such incidents. If there were no rebirth for the soul, Arjuna had no reason to be afraid of being affected by sinful reaction due to his killing his grandfather and teacher. Okay, So Arjuna said that he will get sinful reaction. So if there is no soul, there is no rebirth, then what is the point here? There is no point of getting sinful reaction or something like that. Okay. So there is no fear of getting sinful reaction. Sinful reaction due to killing his grandfather and teacher and other persons. But at the same time, Krishna sarcastically addressed Arjuna as Mahabahu, mighty armed, because he at least did not accept the theory of the Vaibhasikas, which leaves aside the Vedic wisdom. As a Kshatriya, Arjuna belonged to the Vedic culture and it behooved him to continue to follow its principles. So Krishna is saying Arjuna to So Krishna is saying that you are not simple person, you are Mahabahu, Kshatriya, you are already belong to Vedic principles, you are follower of Vedic principles. So you should not take such kind of conclusion that soul does not exist. Okay, so what Krishna is saying that if you, however you think that the soul will always be born and die forever, means once the body is finished, soul is also finished. You still have no reason to lament. Why you are lamenting then? Okay. So, but Mahabahu, so Krishna is telling this sarcastically. Okay. So, that sinful reaction, the fear of sinful reaction which Arjuna said, that is no more, that is justified. जातस्य हि ध्रुवो मृत्युर् ध्रुवं जन्म मृतस्य च तस्मात् परिहार्यर्थे न त्वं शोचितुम् अर्हसि. Very nice shloka. One who has taken his birth is sure to die. This shloka will clear a lot of confusions. One who has taken his birth is sure to die. So first confusion is that I have a strong faith that I will not die. So here it is Krishna saying Jatasi Dhruva Mrityus. If I have taken birth, I am sure that I will die. I have to be sure. Only certain thing is death will come for sure, but when it will come, we are not sure. But it will come. So they say that only certain thing in this world is uncertainty of the death. Yes. So that's the point. So this is like we have to be ready all the time for death, because this is when we were doing engineering, that time we will get this date sheet for exam. Okay, so when the date sheet comes, we become extra active, and okay, that date sheet is released, means there is a new enthusiasm among all the students. Okay, so everybody will become little enthusiastic. Okay, and they start preparing more properly and more seriously and sincerely. So they prepare very hard and they know this is the date of the exam. Okay, but they don't know what question will come in the exam. That's the point. They don't know what question will come, so they have to prepare everything. So here in the exam of life, this is ulta. Here question paper is already out. You know what the question is, but you don't know when the exam is. This is surprise test. Okay, when exam will come, that we don't know. There is no pre-published date sheet. And what is that exam? Exam is death. Question is whether you remembered Krishna's name at the time of death or not. Only two options is there, yes or no. Multiple choice question. Okay, so only two options, yes or no. Did you remember Krishna's name at the time of death? Yes or no. Question is already out. Only one question, 100 marks, two options, and question is also already out. Such a simple exam, then what is the problem? Problem is only one, that we don't know when is the exam. Next moment exam can be there. I may not be able to complete this class only. People will say he was talking about death and he only Hare Krishna. Okay, so the only certain thing, first of all, death is certain. We have to remember always, death is certain, but when it is, that is uncertain. So only certain thing is the uncertainty of the death. So we don't know when the exam is. So we have to be always ready. We have to be always prepared for this question. Okay. So Krishna is saying, one who has taken his birth is sure to die. So I have to remember every day, I think morning, I have to write this thing everywhere, Jata Sidro, so that my faith is gone. That I will live Allah always. There is a, if we think little like sitting alone and we think, then we have this kind of confusion that maybe there is some concession for me. Yeah. Okay, he dies, okay, no problem. He also died, no problem. But I think there is some concession for me. That's why I am building a big house and planning for 200 years, storing money in the bank, so much, you know. It is said at the time of death, how much money is there in your bank account, that much extra you worked. Okay, that much extra money you gain because you did not use. You know? So that much extra labor you did. So that much time, energy, effort you would have engaged, you would have utilized in the service of Krishna. Okay, because that much is still pending. Because some people will say, no, I kept it for my future generation, for my son, and like that, for my, there are two type of children. In Hindi they say Put saput kadhan sanchay, Put kaput kadhan sanchay. Okay, means Put saput to kadhan sanchay. Dhan sanchay means saving money for future, and Put means son, saput means good son. So if your son is good, nice, then what is the need for keeping money for him? He will earn his by his own. But if kaput means bad son. So if your son is bad, then why to save money for him? Anyway, he will waste everything. Okay. So no need to work so hard and keep so much money in the bank, because when we die, whatever is there in the bank, that is extra we did. So Krishna is saying, one who has taken his birth is sure to die, and after death one is sure to take birth again. So that's also another big problem. Because I remember first, second, third, fourth, fifth, so many classes I was studying. It's too tough. I don't want to go to school again. So at least for that reason I don't want to take birth again. Okay. And if you want to enjoy, because nowadays you see Discovery Channel and National Geographic Channel, lot of channels are there. They show wildlife. Many people are so much, kind of enthusiastic about wildlife. So Krishna will arrange for that also. So animal life is waiting. So this human life, if we waste, we are going to be presented in Discovery Channel nicely. Maybe in the form of lion or deer. We don't know. Okay. So we have to be a little aware about this thing, that you want to be presented in the Discovery Channel or in the Golok Vrindavan. So further Krishna is saying, therefore in the unavoidable discharge of your duty you should not lament. Purport: one has to take birth according to one's activities of life. What activities we are doing now, that will make us take birth in the next life. And after finishing one term of activities, one has to die to take birth for the next. In this way, one is going through one cycle of birth and death after another without liberation. This cycle of birth and death does not, however, support unnecessary murder, slaughter and war, but at the same time, violence and war are inevitable factors in human society for keeping law and order. So, Prabhupada is saying wonderful practical thing that, of course, violence is needed in order to keep law and order in society, but that doesn't mean that somebody will quote the verse, Jata Dhruvasya mrityu, jo whoever has taken birth they have to die, and whoever die they will take birth. So I just killed 2-3 fellows in my neighborhood because they were creating disturbance for me. So I just killed them. Anyway they will take birth again. So no sin for me. Why you are punishing me? There is no problem. Okay. So that doesn't mean like that. Okay. The battle of Kurukshetra, being the will of the Supreme, was an inevitable event, and to fight for the right cause is the duty of a Kshatriya. So earlier also we discussed it's not a problem because army, BSF, CRPF, they all fight for the nation. So they are given medals, Paramveer Chakra or like that. Many medals they are given, awards they are giving respects. A special name is written there and the place is given to them, very nice, and they even when they fight, the freedom this army soldiers and freedom fighters, their family members are given a special concession and many other things, right? Why? Army people are given different all the products on the cheap rate, right? Why? Because they are doing something great, they are killing other people. So how it is great killing other people? Because they are killing in order to protect our people, right? So in order to keep law and order, we need this kind of arrangement. So here, if you see on the full like natural system, Krishna's system, there Krishna says if somebody does adharma, and when adharma increases, I have to balance things. I have to re-establish dharma. I have to protect my devotees. I want to do that. I like to do that. So, this fight of Kurukshetra is the desire of Krishna. Why? Because these people disturbed the devotees of Krishna. Who? Pandavas. So, Krishna wanted them to be punished. Okay. So, anyway, Krishna is saying that if you fight, okay. Otherwise, anyway, they have to be done. They have to be killed. Whether you kill or other. I have decided they have to be killed. Okay. If you do it, you will be glorified. Otherwise, people will call you coward and I will select another person. Okay. Anyway, they will not, if you think I will talk like this and I will not fight, then they will be alive. No, I have decided. So, this is the will of the Supreme Krishna. And that is why, for the rightful cause, fighting is the duty of Kshatriya. And for the cause of Krishna, for the pleasure of Krishna, in order to fulfill the desire of Krishna, fight is duty of a Vaishnava. Krishna says fight. Krishna says don't fight. What is my desire? What Krishna desires? Vaishnava philosophy is very simple. What Krishna says, you just do it. No confusion. Okay, there is no confusion only. Krishna says you do this, we do that. That's it. Okay, so Vaishnava means our duty is to fulfill Krishna's desire, to give enjoyment to Krishna. That's our duty, being a devotee of Krishna. Okay, so we do not put our idea there. No, why Krishna is saying to kill, this is violence, ahimsa is good, this, that. We don't do that. Krishna is saying kill. That's it. Patram puspam phalam toyam. So we are taking that. No. We are not worried about vegan, vegetarian, non-vegetarian, vegetarian and all. We are not worried about all those stuff. We are worried about what Krishna is saying. Krishna says, suppose Krishna says, Patram puspam phalam toyam. No. Patram puspam phalam toyam chicken. Yo me bhaktya prachati. Then we are the first person standing in the line of KFC. No problem. But Krishna did not say that. Krishna said only Patram puspam phalam toyam. So we are, Krishna says, if you offer to me, I accept that. Remnants you take. Prashadam. Problem solved. Now we are not worried about whether plant have life or not. Of course, Vedas says that plant have life, but we are not worried that why we are eating plants. They also have life. Chicken also have life, so it's all equal. So let's eat chicken, nuts. We are not worried about that. Why milk is vegetarian or non-vegetarian? Milk is for cow, milk is for calf, why I am taking. We are not worried about all this stuff. Krishna says you take, we are taking, problem solved. Rest Krishna will take care. Okay. That is the idea of being a servant. Because when a master says, go and do this, servant does it. Any problem, master will take care. What is this? No problem, right? So, why these soldiers are fighting with another countryman? Because government is saying. So if any problem, government will take care. That's it. Okay. So that's why even this funda goes with terrorists also. Sometime in news you may see they will do some bomb blast and some big fellow will say, one group will say, I'll take responsibility. Master will take. Right? So we don't have to worry. We have to just follow instruction of Krishna and devotees of Krishna, and that's it. Krishna will take care. That's what he's saying. That's what he is saying. Sarv dharman parityajya. Leave everything. Just surrender unto me. Surrender unto means what? What I say, you just do it. And if you are saying, if Krishna, if I surrender to you, if I follow your instruction, I will get some sinful reaction. Like Arjuna is saying, if I kill my grandfather and my teacher, I will get some sinful reaction. So Krishna is saying, don't worry. If I do not do karma kanda process, if I don't do shraddha and this, that, what will happen? I'll get some sinful reaction. I have so much rin, loan from pitras, from devatas. People say, no, everyone have 3-4 rinas, loan from demigods, from pitras, from this, that. So we have to repay all that. So if I don't do that, I serve only you, I don't do that, I get so much sinful reaction. Krishna says, Hare, stop this. Aham tam sarva papebhyo mokshishyami masuja. Don't fear, I am here. Krishna says like that. Don't fear about all this sinful reaction. Aham tam sarva papebhyo. I'll clear all the sinful reaction. Finish. Chalo hatao. Like a person goes to president, President, he goes, I did so much sinful, so much law break, so many problems I did, and they have, Supreme Court gave me death sentence. Can you please forgive me? So President said, okay, this guy is surrendering and promising not to do any further sin, so I am releasing him. So this fellow is free, right? So same, why? Because President is the supreme, right? He has that power. So same way Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead among Asarvalok Maheshwaram. President is the controller only for one nation. Here we are talking about not only one nation, not only one planet, not only one universe, not only about this material world, but full creation, material world, spiritual world, everything we are talking about. And who is the supreme controller? Krishna. Sarvalok Maheshwaram. All the lokas, all the lokas will have some controller, some Ishvara. But among all the Ishvaras, there is Supreme Ishvara, Sarvalok Maheshwara. Of all the controllers, there is one controller, Supreme Controller, that is Krishna. So that Krishna is saying, if you come to me, I will clear your file. All the thing I will. Simple thing, but we are not understanding. This is our problem. We are fool. So it's easy, right? So no need to worry. Okay, don't worry. Chant Hari. Okay. Why should he, Arjuna? Why should he be afraid of or aggrieved at the death of his relative, since he was discharging his proper duty? Why he has to worry? He did not deserve to break the law, thereby becoming subjected to the reactions of sinful acts of which he was so afraid. Okay. So, by avoiding the discharge of his proper duty, he would not be able to stop the death of his relatives. That's also there. And he would be degraded due to his selection of the wrong path of action. Anyway, these relatives will not be saved, but Arjuna will get a loss that he will be degraded, that his glories will be defamed like that. Okay, and he will not be called devotee of Krishna because he did not follow what Krishna's instructions. So that's the point here. Hare Krishna. So This is simple thing. We have to just surrender to Krishna. So surrender means what Krishna says we do. Krishna says man mana bho mad bhakta satatam kirtanto mam. Krishna says you just chant my name. A simple thing. So we always chant Krishna's name. We hear and chant Krishna's glory. We serve devotees. We express compassion to the living entities. That's it. Jivadaya Nam Ruchi Vaishnav Seva. This is the solution. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Hare Krishna. If there is any question, you can kindly ask.